Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So carrying on with the quick vids for the Flysky ST16. We are now moving on in the model menu. So what we're going to be looking at today is the function rate. So if we come in here, you've got a whole load of channels what we've got set up and then functions. So if we jump in at first and we have a look at his rudder. So basically we've got 100% travel either way and no exponential curve, and that's on all three of our modes. So regardless of what we change as condition to, it's going to stay. So on here we can look at normal, maybe we want 100%. We can flick to our dry mode. Now in dry maybe we've got more grip and we don't need all that much rate, and then you can also set a bit of a curve. So if we want it a little bit less sensitive at the bottom end, we can dip it down. If you want more sensitivity, you can turn it up and it'll taper off towards the ends. So maybe it's a little twitchy in dry. Then you can look at the offset, so you can move the entire center of the channel. Really depends what you're going to need set up. And then we can look at our set for the dual rate. So it's looking for what function, so we're going to leave it on rudder. Then we've got to set a switch, so we'll do that. Up will be on, down will be off, that'll be fine. And then we can choose which mode. So if we set this to our dry, and then it's disabled in other modes. So if we flick a switch on and off, it'll take us to either our dual rate override or our stock setting. Now the off position depends what you want to set on that as well. So we've got exponential 1, which is just basically same as what I've just set up. Then we can come in and we've got exponential 2, and on this one you've got rates for either direction. So if you really did need to, you can change the rates. You've still got the offset that is only for one, but your actual rates you can set for up and down. So depending on what you need, maybe you're an oval racer. And again, the curve, you can alter that for just the side that you want to alter, or set them slightly different for both. But then we've also got symmetrical. So this is same as exponential 1, but maybe you want a different rate on this. And these, you see, they'll sort of mirror each other. So it really depends how you want this to play out. And then we can switch on off. So we can have a standard dual rate, an exponential, or we can switch it and we can switch to dual rate 1. But then you've also got your actual modes. So as normal, we've got everything set to normal. If we flick the switch, it won't override this. Then we've got as dry setting with 2 different setups. So it really depends which one works best for you, how you want it to affect the channel. But you've got a choice. You can switch between them. And then we switch to his third mode. And then on this one, maybe you want something else set. Maybe you want to come in here and you want something else that you can play with. Let's change that into on. And then this one, you only want to be able to do it on the wet mode. So on this, we can now set another set of dual rates on this. So maybe you want one completely standard, you want one with a set exponential and dual rate, and then basically it gives you more settings with the conditions. So on the first one, we haven't set anything for an on-off switch, so this is just going to run standard exponential. Then you flick it down, you've got two different exponential or curve settings. You can move one way or other, but you've got two on that setting. And then we flick it down again, and you can have another two on that setting. Or you can set one of these for throttle instead of the rudder. It really just depends what you want this to function against. Really depends what you want to do. It's just to give you the basics of the idea of what you'd use with the conditions and then your exponential and dual rate, just to give you that more control over the actual channel and give you some on-the-fly options. When you play around with this, you can send some pretty good modes up for like loose track, slightly grippy track, really grippy track, and you've just at the flick of a few switches, you've got a few extra options. When you're on track, conditions change and you can just flick into a different condition mode, and then all your dual rates and exponentials will follow. You just got to bear in mind what you're setting to what and what you actually want that to do. So you're going to have to play around with it, choose a few settings. It's one of the things where I prefer the way that the ground controllers do this. I understand why the flight controllers do it this way, but on a ground transmitter, you can set the dual rate or the exponential to a dial and you can change it in real time. Doesn't seem to be an option at all for the flight transmitters. I've not found anywhere where they can do it, even when they're in ground RC vehicle mode. But at least this way gives you a whole bunch of presets. And usually what you'll find is if you need dual rates turning down, you'll probably find that it's not something that you want to be minutely adjusting. You're going to want either 95%, 98%, but it'll be the same every time. When you decide your tyres have warmed up and you want to take some of that harshness of the steering out, you just want to be able to flick a switch and you want to get that exact number every time, and this way of doing it lets you do it. Really nice to use the conditions. So along with this setting, you can just go into the dual rates, going directly into here, and it's the same screen as what you get going through the function and rates, and also the offset will give you the same sort of option. So you can go in and you can just offset from here, and it's basically just that the other screen lets you go into all three of them. So basically that's just a way of getting the same functionality as the other menus, but it's in case you just want to move that one thing. You don't have to play around going into there. If you know it's just dual rate and you're setting, you can just come in here and change it. And likewise with the offset, we can just pop into here and change the offset of all the channels. But yeah, that covers the function rate, and along with channel offset and dual rate. So hopefully that makes sense or demystifies some of them settings. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.